Okay. Hello, and we are back with another comedy enforcement video. I like watching this guy's videos. I don't watch too many comedians outside of stand up. I watch like a couple podcasts, but I always like watching comedy enforcement because I feel like he keeps me looped in on what's going on, plus the drama, plus, the crazy things these comedians do and say. But this video is comedians getting called out for being greedy. And we gonna check it out. We gonna see what's up. Y'all go check out Comedy Enforcement. Sub and like to him. He's been going crazy recently. He's been doing really, really well with the comedy videos. Y'all go check him out. But right now, we gonna take a peek.
So a few days ago, the Rex podcast uploaded an episode, and within the first 10 minutes, they started talking about a rumor that they heard about a comic, a massive headliner that was only paying their openers $100 while selling out massive theaters and also having a successful podcast. And naturally, that made a lot of people wonder who they could be potentially talking about, including myself. Now, they didn't name the comedian, so I didn't think much of it at first. And it wasn't until I started seeing people post on some subreddits, and they started getting a lot of traction. And some of them were speculating that they could be talking about Theo Von. And although at first I was a little bit skeptical and I thought it was a reach, I started looking a little bit deeper into it, and it got very interesting what we found.
Bro, why is Thomas, what is his name?
I started looking a little bit
Louis
deeper into
J.
it,
Gomez?
very...
Bro, why is Louis J. Gomez? Bro, he talks so much garbage crap. Y'all know what I'm saying. He's always in the middle of some kind of drama. If not, he's always perpetuating it. I swear to God, bro. I swear to God, bro. This dude, bro, he's always the one saying something, which is cool. We need that guy. We got to have that guy. But it's always him, bro. Anytime Comedy Enforcement puts out a video, he's always in it saying something, doing something, bro. I swear.
Interesting what we found, because it turns out that also Matt Rife is in the conversation for allegedly paying his openers very, very low. So in this video, we'll talk about what they said on the regs. We'll talk about what the other comics said about opening for Matt Rife and why people think that they could be potentially talking about Theo Von. So let's get started.
I'm here like not $1.
I never had a flight not for me.
But I'm hearing some stories on the road about some major headliners. Name names. Can I say new rule? New rule.
Have to name names.
It's going to start with people.
I don't care.
Yeah, you do.
I don't care. I don't
care either. Go.
I do care. I don't, because
Why?
whisper to me. You didn't say
Corporate Dan.
No.
All right, just tell us how big. How big?
Yeah,
are we talking
initials?
Are we talking clubs, theaters, or arenas?
Theaters.
Okay.
If I had to assume, I mean, I couldn't see Theo. But I don't know. Then again, is Theo playing like a character when he's on camera? Like, is that Theo 24/7? I've heard comedians say that it is. I heard comedians say that it is. And I know it's like, obviously, it's not 100% just like him. He's putting on a little bit of a character with some of the jokes and things that he says, and he's playing a bit. But I don't know. It's hard for me to see Theo Von being greedy like that, where he's barely paying openers, especially with the type of like help he got coming up as well. Who knows how much he got paid to do shows and like how much he was asking for. But he's got to have been treated well. He's got to have been. This freaking guy, bro, Louis J. Gomez, bro, every time I see his face, I know some being said, bro. I know some being said, bro. I can already tell. And Joe List, he's always the one that's like unintentionally in the drama, right? And the way he talks, people get mad. Yelling starts to happen. But then I sucked his dick and we were all good about it. Oh, okay, Joe List. I mean, it's funny. I'm not gonna lie, Joe List is actually hilarious, but I've just noticed that's what it always comes down to with Joe List.
You're playing theaters and you're not taking back your guy.
$100 a show to the opener.
Theaters?
No.
$100 a show to
Wow.
Damn, you see how serious he just got?
$100 a show to the opener.
Theaters?
No.
$100.
Damn, what the heck? A whole entire vibe switch, bro. He just got so serious. What the hell?
A show to
Wow.
And this ain't when you started in the 60s.
Name names.
In the what?
I don't want to
In the
name names,
60s?
Lewis.
He said in the 60s.
Don't name names. Mouth it to me.
I mean, you opened for we won't say the name of a famous person, and they gave you $100 only.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For 3 shows.
for
Liza
five-
Schlesinger.
For 5,000 people, probably more.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah,
I'm excited to find out.
I'll
who
tell you
this
after.
is.
we can't.
Yeah.
Say,
I mean, I'm sure you can find out. I'm sure Comedy Enforcement might have done the homework, but you can find out who he was opening for. You know, this just happened. Oh, he doesn't have dates on here. You could find out. We could find out who he was just opening for. You know, that little like you just opened for is really. He should have said like you've opened for, but I think they know what they're doing.
we don't. I want to blow
No,
your spot.
Jeff is a good guy to go with on the road for sure.
No.
We don't want to blow your spot, but you know, I'm gonna say that after I've blown your spot. I hate when people do that, bro. I hate that.
Oh.
Yeah.
No. Why don't I want to?
No,
your spot.
Jeff is a good guy to go with on the road for sure.
No.
Yeah.
No. Why don't I want to say it?
You know this.
You can go ahead and say it. It's a rumor, though. That's why I don't want to say it. Because also the person that told me opened,
Are we friends with this person?
No.
the person
I wish.
the person that told me this opens for them as like real. Hey, this is green room talk, and I don't want to.
Oh, see,
That told me this
See?
opens for them.
see, it didn't take that long. Oh, this is back in February. Oh. Has the top 60 or 70 gender neutral mullets of all time. What the fuck? What the hell?
Them as
Yeah. We'll never forget how he got $100 for it.
like real. Hey, this is green room talk, and I don't want to blow that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. I know several.
Now, the comic that was talking about opening for that one famous comedian and only getting paid $100, him and the guy next to him, they're both comics that have their own show, and they were on that podcast as guests about 2 months ago. And although they were talking about Matt Rife being one of the comics that pays very little, which we'll cover towards the end of the video, they didn't really comment on the situation with the famous comic that only paid $100. So,
Why would
to
they?
be fair, it's not like they were trying to start anything or expose anyone. And also, we don't know if the comic that was talking about only getting paid $100 to open is the same one that Dan Soder was talking about, which, I mean, it does sound like it unless two different comics both had the exact same thing happen to them in the same theater. Now, when it comes to Luis J. Gomez and Dan Soder, I 100% agree with them. I agree that if you are a successful comic, especially if you're making tons of money, you should definitely pay your openers
Yeah.
a lot more than $100.
I mean, no, 100%. That should just be a clear rule of thumb. I mean, if you're, I mean, okay, let's see, 5,000 tickets. He probably making like a good 15, 20,000 in one night. If I mean, my math could be completely wrong, but like off merch sales and everything, could be making like a good little chunk of change. $100 is nuts, bro. $100 is nuts. Like, what is that comedian supposed to do with that? They're not working other jobs. I mean, they might have to if they're only getting $100, but it seems rare. It seems pretty rare because they're talking about it. So I wouldn't imagine that it's something that happens consistently, and I would imagine that it doesn't get called out publicly, like we're seeing. But for the most part, like behind the scenes, I know comedians will look out for other comedians, and if one tells another, "Yeah, you just paid me $100," that other comedian will probably spread that around in the community until it becomes a big deal. Like it's been happening, it's just happening in public this time, which is kind of crazy to witness. But Theo Von, I'm still stuck on that. It's like Theo Von. I don't know. He's got such this like. I hate to say like pure, just honest. He just seems so honest, you know. It's hard to tell.
That's just insane. Now, they didn't really make fun of them too hard, which I think they should, because even though you could argue that comics obviously have a choice to not accept the $100, to decline, or to negotiate. It does say a lot about the comic, the headliner, the guy that's in power. It does say a lot about their true personality because, for example, you have comics like George Lopez who have openly talked about not liking the idea of helping out the younger comedians because no one helped them out. So if you hear that someone like George Lopez is paying that low,
no. That right there, that is dumb. It's a completely different day and age. Like that I will never agree with. Obviously don't like drag them from the bottom and bring them all the way up to the top, make them like your protege. But help a brother out, bro. Help a brother out. Imagine those comedians that met George and felt so lucky, right? They felt so lucky because that's what it is. That's a big part of the fame with a lot of these guys is just luck, And then George pays them $200, doesn't give him his number, doesn't give him his publicist or his manager or nobody's number, and says "Dale," and just keeps it pushing, like.
It wouldn't be that surprising or that shocking. However, on the other hand, you have comics that really took advantage of the whole Rogan mentality of helping each other out, doing everyone's podcast, and talking very positively about everyone around you. So now if those comics, the ones that we're talking about being positive and helping each other out, and the ones that were helped out by Joe Rogan, also known as Rogan's Fear of Comedians, if those comics, if it turns out that the whole time they were taking advantage of that, while at the same time paying their openers only $100 and also making all the money in the world by selling out and having a successful podcast, that would be absolutely wild. And
Okay. So maybe that's where my thought process on Theo Von is coming from. Maybe Theo Von, I see him as this like honest and kind person because of the way he came up and because of the people that he came up with, or not. I mean, at least in my little bubble of universe here, he came up with like the Andrew Schultz and Brian all those guys. I'm blanking out. Okay, but you guys know the comedians I'm talking about. And they all had this like very honest, positive outlook about themselves and their careers, and I guess that's why it's just hard for me to see that, and they all just seem so honest. But I guess that's show business for you.
Someone like Joe Rogan would have to say about that. Now, this next part is all speculation, and it might be a little bit of a reach, but this is why people are thinking that they were potentially talking about Theo Von.
Oh yeah, I know several.
You know several. Well, you give some.
Yeah.
Give a name.
I'm not.
We're such what a little sewing circle we have.
Yeah, I know all about it.
Hold on.
I don't know.
Can I say?
I'm gonna text you.
Can I say, naming the name wouldn't be a bad thing because then they would change it.
Is it a woman?
I kind of agree.
You
Wait
can
a
do that in
minute.
private.
Dan, is it a woman or
See,
it's a man?
see. We do that kind of stuff in private. I knew it, Joe Liz. Excuse me. I knew that behind the scenes, these comedians hear about this stuff, and they just go to each other about it. Nowadays, bro, podcasts is gonna give comedy that like. Oh, I used to hear. Okay, I would hear comedians talk about how back in the day, constantly, all the time, other comedians were like. They were like against each other, which is why the Rogan Sphere came up, and it was so profitable for comedy and helpful to comedy because it was comedians helping comedians for apparently what was the first time ever in comedy history. So now we're kind of getting back to that, but with groups, right? So we're getting like Louis J. Gomez is just grouping up with different folks, and especially on his Skankfest show and podcast, and he's just like, or not just him, it's a couple of them. It's a couple of them, and they're starting those mini beefs again. Oh, imagine comedian diss track. Imagine if we get like another Cat Williams and Harvey, freaking Steve Harvey. I would say Harvey Weinstein. Jesus Christ. Imagine we get another Cat Williams and Steve Harvey. Bro, they had a whole comedy special where they were just shit-hugging each other. Each other. Imagine we get that again, bro. That hasn't been orchestrated in how long? We might have to... Hey.
But there's a woman too.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a couple. There's a couple.
Oh,
We can all text
buddy.
each other.
You know, we don't got. Can I say this?
Yeah.
The reason we won't name names, and we might, I still may. It's on the tip of my tongue. It may slide out at any given moment. Okay.
No.
That moment.
I'm gonna tell you.
Cashola.
I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'm just gonna tell you the theater. The Chicago Theater
The
sits
what?
over
The theater.
The Chicago Theater seats over 4,000 people, I think, around there.
Let's do the
Wait,
math.
what is it?
Chicago. I'll tell you right now, and I'm just gonna tell you the theater. The Chicago Theater
The
sits
what?
over
The
4.
theater.
The Chicago Theater seats over 4,000 people, I think. Over 4.
Cashola.
I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'm just gonna tell you the theater. The Chicago Theater
The
sits
what?
over
The
4.
theater.
The Chicago
Why did
Theater.
he say... Why did he say theater like that? Theater? Did he do that on purpose? Was that a... Or am I tripping? Was he just pronouncing it weird? I went back so many times because I was trying to figure out if he said like theater, like theater, like theater. But I don't know. I think he was just pronouncing it goofy. Like, I can't really tell.
Seats over 4,000 people, I think, around there.
Let's do the math.
So you're probably making. He's doing 2 sold-out shows a night.
100 a ticket, 150 a ticket.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least 70.
At
a
least
ticket.
80 a ticket. At least 80 a ticket. And you're making. That's $200,000 in a night.
per show.
A night. I'd probably say 100,000 a show.
Wait.
Dollars in a night.
Per show.
At least 80 a ticket. And you're making. That's $200,000 in a night.
Per show.
Wow, my calculations were so off. 200,000. What? 100,000? What? Oh, I'd be so heated if I was opening for these motherfuckers and they only gave me $100. I'd be so heated. I'd be telling everybody too. Are you kidding me? Screw that. Say the names. 200,000. Holy.
Show. A night. I'd probably say 100,000 a show. With everything said and done. And
This
you're
su-
paying your opener.
The silence in the room. They know. They're like, oh shit, we not making that. But Theo making that.
It's $400,000 if it's $100 a ticket.
Oh my God. Yo, I'd be paying my opener freaking 5 bands just cause, bro, what does it even matter at that point? You could have this little 5 bands, you know, be good for a month, be good for half a month, you know.
Cut it in half because there's got to be $150 VIP.
And you have to pay your
True.
and for the fee for the theater. Everybody.
That's 100. That's 400. That's almost a half a million.
That is ridiculous.
That's a show.
That's ridiculous. $100 a show for an opener.
That's fucking nuts.
That's nuts.
That's
and someone
nuts.
should say something to him. If I was friends with him, I
Because
probably
the
would say something.
podcast money is nuts.
Now, this was actually pointed out by someone in a subreddit. I didn't catch it when I first listened to this. And although it might sound silly, it does make sense a little bit, and I'll tell you why. If you listen to the way that Robert Kelly says the word theater, it does sound
I was onto something. I knew I wasn't going crazy. All right.
he's about to say Theo, or at least someone's name that starts with a TH, and then says theater. And, you know, they do have a track record. The Regs do have a track record of playing with, doing a lot of jokes with play on words and a lot of puns. So there is a chance that maybe Robert Kelly was trying to troll and joke with Dan Soder by making him think that he was about to say the comic's name, and then said the word theater. Now, they did say that they were not friends with that comic and that comedian had a large podcast. So at first I was going through a bunch of different ones that matched that description. but it didn't really make that much sense. However, when it comes to Theo, it kind of does make sense a little bit because he does have a massive podcast. Obviously, he's a massive headliner. And
But-
also, I've never seen him work with any of the guys from the Regs. And on top of that, I did find an old Instagram.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, it's Theo. It's Theo. It's gotta be. It's Theo. Everything is lining up. Everything is lining up too well for it not to be. Like, if it's a different comedian, bro, the internet detectives lost the case. Like, because I don't know. Like, it's gotta be Theo. It's gotta be. That would be crazy if it wasn't. But still, Theo? Like, what? Theo? He just seems so humble. I know Theo making way too much money to... I don't know, bro. Did something happen? I need Theo to talk about this. See, this is why they have to say names. Because all these dudes are on public domains. They'd have to speak about it. Ooh, we got this in rap. We about to get this in comedy too. We about to get this in comedy too. Oh God.
Post from that comedian Alex, who's the one that was talking about only getting paid $100 to open for a famous comic. And based on what Dan Soder said, he said that it happened at the Chicago theater. And if you look at this post, that comic was opening for Theo Von, at that same theater. And on top of that, if you look on different sites, you'll see that on his description, on his bio, he will be labeled as, or he will be mentioned as an opener for Theo Von.
Comedian podcast. You idiot. Theo Von, Trevor Wallace, here, Chase. Okay.
On different sites. So, I mean, based on that, it does kind of point towards Theo, but once again, it's all speculation and can't really confirm if it's true or not. And to be fair, what makes me think that they're probably not talking about
Damn, bro. I think me and bro have like the same forehead, bro. Like, I'm seeing how it extends to the sides. I think me and Brody have the same. Oh my God, it looks like it never ends on that side. I gotta.
Theo is how they're making it sound like it was something that happened recently, but that Instagram post obviously was from 2 years ago, and they also did mention that it was a massive theater act, and most recently Theo has been doing arenas, so that doesn't really add up. But if it's not Theo Von, I'm not really sure who else it could be. Like I said, I went through the obvious ones like Tom Segura, Schultz, Tony Hinchcliffe, maybe Bert Kreischer, but I don't really see it.
He said the usual suspects. No. Why are those guys seen so negatively now? I mean, I still like those guys. I mean, Bert, I watch a lot less outside of his like podcast. I watch a lot less outside. I watch a lot less of Bert in general. I think a lot of people can go ahead and probably agree with that one. But Andrew, I still like Andrew. Like, I still will tune into their podcast and listen to the podcast. And I still think Andrew is a hilarious comedian. I don't know. I just think it's hilarious how there's just like, and Tony too. I mean, I know Tony's been through a lot of drama. I love Kill Tony though, bro. Kill Tony is such a. I'm yapping.
I've seen both Tony and Andrew Schultz live, and it does seem like they do travel with their openers.
What do you do for
But
work?
you
She's
guys,
like,
would you guys open for Matt Rife?
Oh, that would be hilarious. Yeah.
Dude,
I
I
don't
heard
think I
tell
will.
of a
I
guy,
don't
my
know.
One
friend
time.
opened for
See?
Matt Rife.
See. It's not Matt Rife, and you know it's not Matt Rife because they're saying his name. So it's not Matt Rife.
Oh, wait,
sorry,
you
yeah.
probably know. Is it?
He did 2 theater shows.
Yeah, in Kansas City.
$300
Yeah,
total.
I heard that.
Shut up.
That's insane.
$300.
You really put blast.
I was there with them that night. I was in the same night. Yeah, $300.
I love-
Crazy.
I love
that's,
Matt Rife.
That's
It's funny
embarrassing.
he would have made as much
I'm pro
money
Rife.
opening for you.
Yeah,
Maybe probably more.
I would have tipped him. I
Yeah,
would've
yeah,
tipped
you would
him
have probably made more money
honestly.
with him opening for you.
That shit is.
And he could have sold some merch.
Yeah, You can sell some
Damn.
koozies, man.
Yeah, you can sell a
come
couple
on.
koozles.
That's embarrassing. That shit.
They got the Matt Rife painting right here. What the hell? While they're freaking talking about
Yeah.
it.
He
That
made
blows.
probably $150,000 that night.
Oh, yeah, he did two
Probably.
theater shows.
It's
Shoot,
like
look.
5,000 person.
Looking, bro, on the far right over here is just deep in the look at him, look at him, look at him. He is just deep in the struggles of having to deal with barely getting paid. He is just deep in it. Look at him. What in the, he's just kind of he's thinking about how hard it was dealing just to getting that $100. Look at him.
Probably
What he had to do with that $100.
$150,000 that night.
Oh, yeah, he did two
Probably.
theater shows.
It was like 5,000 person theater, I think. Yeah, he made
5,000. Wait.
I think it was
He
5,000.
sold
yeah.
10,000 tickets in Kansas City.
He gave him $300.
There's
You
like
fucking
400,000
bitch.
people in Kansas City.
Give him 1,000 at least.
You gotta
coward.
give him at
You
least
Coward. I tip you more than that for weekends.
All right, chill out, buddy. He's over here. You coward. You coward. Like, all right, buddy, chill out. Let's relax here. It's serious. This is serious. But let's not get too insulting. Let's not burn bridges we never built now.
It's true.
Do you have a
Jesus
boss
Christ.
boss employee relationship on the road? Because
Oh,
Jeff's
yeah.
technically
Is
the
he-
top
is he
dog.
real-
I say no crowd work, and I say give me a
Yeah.
fucking burger from down the street.
Now, when it comes to Matt Rife, it is a little bit more simple and no need for speculation. And what's funny is that even though $300 is still extremely low, it is 3 times more than what that famous comic was
$100 is
accused
nuts.
of paying his opener. And also, even though I'm not a fan of Matt Rife, it's not like every comic needs to overpay their openers and try to help them out. Like I said, there are comics who don't roll that way, and that's fine. I don't agree with that. However, based on what he said in the past, Matt Rife is not one of those comics.
Probably 6 or 7 months later, he was in Youngstown, Ohio. I reached out again. And it was a theater, actually.
Okay, like, this is going to be a extremely hot take, and I'm not like gay or anything, but I never understood why people thought Matt Rife was attractive. He kind of looks like, and I might be type hating right now. He kind of looks like a woman who is trying very, 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 very hard to look as manly as possible. I know it's a crazy thing to say, but that's just kind of what I get off Matt. Just like his eyes and his facial structure, his lips. He just kind of looks like, just like a very, very lesbian woman who is not like extremely feminine in her facial features, but is trying very hard to look manly.
Smaller theater, probably like 700 people, but I mean, when you're 15, it's so many people. And he let me come up and do a guest spot there, and that was my
That's probably a hot take, but
probably third guest spot I ever got to do. It was my first time I ever got paid. He paid me $100 and told me a story about how the first guest spot he ever did for Sam Kinison, he paid him $100 to open for him. So he was like, just make sure you pay that forward. And I've done so since then.
These people, there's too good. We've given too much info. They're gonna
Yeah,
figure
they'll
it all
find
out.
out, and that's fun.
That's okay. They pieced it together.
Yeah.
but-
Guys, welcome to the Regs Clues. We like to give clues at the beginning. Oh, do you get your decoder ring in the mail? Find out who's not paying their openers a substantial amount of money.
So let me ask you a question. You play a club,
Yeah.
a theater, and an arena. It's a different pay scale.
Yeah, what?
Arena.
Like Ben and Jerry's.
I did arenas with Dane. How much money do you think I got for doing 80 arenas?
Can I tell you what he should have given you?
Okay. Given.
Given.
Gaven?
I'm sorry. I don't like when people do that to
Joe
me.
List.
An arena, you should have been making $5,000 a show.
Okay.
That's high.
That's
What do you
crazy.
think?
That's a
Really?
little high.
5,000's high.
A little high.
Arena?
Per show to
Arena?
open?
10,000?
I guess I'm
to
just a
20,000 people?
socialist.
10,000 to 20,000 people a show?
To expect 5,000 for a show for an opener.
Especially when you are genuinely replaceable. It's
Right.
just the opener.
Yeah.
Literally anybody is going to do that job.
I guess I'm
Nobody's
just
buying a
Oh,
ticket
Louis
for you.
J.
I guess
If
I'm
you,
just a
if
good
I
dude.
was
So because of that, it is pretty funny that a comic like Matt Rife, who's making
Okay,
that
okay,
amount
okay,
of money,
okay. Hold on. That's not necessarily true, bro. Because, I wonder if that's why headliners are bringing on other headliners now. Like, Bert did that like tour with Tom and recently he did that tour with Tom and Bobby Lee. I wonder if it's just headliners are just gonna start taking headliners with them because these openers are getting a little too. I don't know, but it's not even like they're not even asking for too much, bro. They're just asking to be able to pay for their bills and like. I totally understand where the comedians are coming from. I don't know. It's tough, especially when you've got comedians that are like disagreeing on dollar amounts, but obviously everybody disagrees on $100 to $300. Like at that size, anything less than like 1,000 is kind of just greedy. Just like he said, it's kind of just greedy.
He would think that it's that it would be fair to pay an opener $300 when he himself was getting paid $100 for a 700 seat theater when he was young and just starting. People will argue that if a comic thinks that $100 or $300 is way too low, that they can, decline it and go somewhere else or negotiate or whatever. And that's fair. But at the end of the day, it comes down to each comic and what the fans want because, openers don't have any leverage. So it really does come down to the comic to, decide if they want to help them out or not, because the only and real way to help a stand-up comic and really anyone out there, the only way to help them out is with money, unless of course you give them a job, or in that case, in the comics case, take them on the road, which is what other comics like Andrew Schultz, Tony, and even Bert Kreischer do. They travel with the openers instead of hiring someone that's local.
If I was taking you on the road and you were my guy and we were doing G5s.
How much are you making per show?
I'll add it up. You want to add it up?
I think like $250,000.
$250,000 per
No,
show?
no. Arenas.
An arena, you're making $220. $250,000.
What are you making per show?
I'll add it up. You want to add it up?
I think like $250,000.
$250,000 per
No,
show?
no. Arenas.
An arena, you're making $220.
15,000 people.
$5,000 is too much.
150.
You have $225. You're not going to give me
Just say
$5?
$250,000 a show.
It's over $1 million a show.
$1 million a show.
Over $1 million a show.
I'd probably give at least $5,000 a show, but
I don't think
wouldn't
an arena's
expect
$1 million.
And I don't. I also agree.
Here, expecting it is one thing. You're right. You shouldn't expect it. But as the headliner,
Over.
But it is an interesting conversation because I understand
Bro.
that it's all business.
I didn't know there was that much money in comedy. I might have to start writing jokes. Might have to start writing some hee-hee-hoo-has. Because $1 million a show before you pay net $1 million net a show. Oh my God! I didn't realize these comedians were making so much fucking money. Oh my God!
And you don't have to give your money away to
I'm sick.
people, and it's not like you have to help people out, but also comics have gotten to a point where they're making so much money that it does
So
become a
much
little bit unfair when they just pay
So
someone
much money.
$100 and they're making over $100,000 that same night. But yeah, once again, we don't know if they were talking about Theo Von, but I think it does start an interesting conversation about what's fair to pay an opener when a comic is making so much money. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Leave a like and subscribe to support the channel.
No. I mean, no. Not that. I'm already subscribed. I'm liking it. That's not what I meant. I meant no to the fact that they should have. Oh my God, bro! They should have said the name. They should say names, bro. They gotta say. But I get it. They're openers. You don't want to come off as difficult to work with, or potential risk, and if something goes wrong you're gonna go straight running and telling everybody about it. I get it, but I really just wish it was spoken out there, said to the world, so so that comedian has to come back, and that comedian has to address it, and they have to tell us why they did that. Because that's where we're at right now with comedy. They wanted to be in podcasts, and they wanted to play the social media game and the internet game, and they're gonna have to deal with that consequence. But comedians don't want to burn bridges. They still want to be potentially friends with people. So I get it. See what the comments are saying. I hate the old head mentality of I had it bad, so you should too. It's so stupid. If you hated how you were treated, don't be a part of. Exactly. Exactly. Regardless of all the free market capitalist arguments in these comments, bottom line is that you would be embarrassed for people to find out how much you pay your opener. You should be paying them more. Facts. 100%. You'd be embarrassed. The fact it's not another 2 Bears 1K video. This guy. Dude, the way Robert said theater is so clearly. See, bro. See, bro. I knew it. I knew I wasn't going crazy. I knew I wasn't going crazy. What did he reply with? All right, bro. Anybody paying their opener $100 while they collect, bro? It's more than 10 to 20K, bro. It's more than 10 to 20K. You are delusional. Look at the big picture. All the people that are there are there not for them. They are paying for the headliner. They get to learn who you are because of this exposure. And if you do any good, bro. You're seriously defending someone paying their opener $100 when they're raking in $100K exactly, just because the audience isn't there for them specifically. I was really hoping no one would be that delusional and try to defend this behavior. Thank you. Why even pay them anything at all is crazy. $250 max. No way. People really think like this, bro. People are really that greedy, bro. That's crazy. I mean, I'd give them at least a K. At least a little thou wow to get through the day. I don't know, man. I know these videos get a lot of negative reactions on my page, not on his. But still, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to react to it. So if you don't mind, subscribe and like to your boy. Other than that, have a blessed one. Till next time.